Hey, what's going on YouTube? This is Reaching Riches here. So today we're gonna go over YMAX, YMAG, SDTY, QDTY, and RDTY. Um, and these are gonna be their estimates for next week. They're gonna declare on Wednesday, and then they're gonna pay on Friday. All right, and then just one quick note: SDTY does have a distribution rate now on their website since they've been out for a month now. So their distribution rate is 18.81%. That's actually pretty respectable. I think XDTE's is about 25%, but this is still early. They've only been out 1 month. All right, so let's get into the numbers here. So YMAG, we'll start off with YMAG. So YMAG, on March 5th, MSFO declared, or their only fund in Group C is MSFO, and they declared 28 cents. So that means they only collected $816,000 in premium. So I think I know, or you guys will probably know what the dividend is going to be for Group C, since that's kind of what it's always been. Uh, so right now they have 19.6 million shares, only collected 816,000, and it's going to be 4 cents, slightly lower than usual by 1 cent, but they might even just declare 5 cents. One more cent doesn't break the bank, at least I don't think. So yeah, so this is gonna be the low week. So hopefully you guys have other funds to make up for the low distribution week. Um, that would probably be a lot helpful. I really don't know why they just put Microsoft by itself. They really should have put like Tesla by itself. Uh, but it is what it is. That's what they did. Average dividend is at 15 cents. This is since 2025. Average dividend is 15 cents. I think in 2024, average dividend was about 20, so it has dropped a bit. But let's see if we get more volatility, maybe they pick up more premium. So 15 cents on YMAG, or sorry, 4 cents on YMAG. All right, so let's go to YMAX here. So YMAX, Group C declared on the 5th. So they got 28 cents from MSFO, 59 cents from Coney, 25 cents from AMDY, 40 cents from Netflix, um, 48 cents from ABNY, so that's Airbnb, I think. And then from PP, they got 37 cents. All right, so total they collected 53 million in premiums. That's actually pretty good. Just doing a quick look here, that's the highest that they've collected so far. So that's, oh sorry, oh my god, excuse me. Sorry, this is outstanding shares. 53 million outstanding shares. Sorry, but 5.3 million. There we go. My bad. My bad. All right, 5.3 million in total dividends. So that's actually not too bad. This is this the lowest? This is the lowest in dividends since January. So let's see what the dividend is gonna be. Ooh, that that hurts. So 10 cents is what we're looking at. I mean, if they don't have POTY, that's what carried Group B with that almost $6. So they don't have a POTY. None of these are really heavy hitters. I mean, you got Coney, but Coney's been really down in the dumps. So yeah, 10. I don't, I don't want to believe it. They might pay something higher than that. 10 cents seems really low. But we'll see. We'll see what they pay out. But yeah, 10 cents is the estimate. All right, now moving on to the Yieldmax trifecta. This has kind of been my favorite ones to watch lately, just because they're much more active than Roundhill. I mean, Roundhill does have a pretty good track record of setting good strikes with their 70% win rate overall. So we'll see. I don't have a win rate for these guys yet. I should probably add that in. But yeah, we'll see how they're doing right now. So, right here. So, Monday, They had a 6,000 strike, collected $7.35 for that one. Then they did XSP, 4 contracts, 73 cents for that one. So total for the day is $10,500. So pretty good. They didn't close anything, no rolling, no any of that. So it was just straight call, just like Roundhill. Tuesday, same thing here, straight calls, no rolling. So they had a strike of 58.80 on SPX, collecting what 7,300 for the for the contracts, total for the contracts. And then they had XSP again, collecting $188. So total for that day is 75.28. Then this is where it gets interesting. Their initial strike here was 58.20, and then they had a 582 XSP. So these ones here, so let's see, they collected 24,480 for this strike, the 58.20, and they collected 616 for the XSP. And then here, they closed the 58.20 for a little over half, little over, so maybe like 40% profit, and they paid 12,880, so pretty good. And then they sold it further out in the money at 58.40, and they collected another 73.60 in premium. So total they collected like 19.5, or sorry, 19,500. So that's actually pretty good. And then here on Thursday, we see that roll again. So 58.40 strike is what they started off with. XSP is 584. They collected 8,384 collectively between these two, and then they closed at 58.40 for $2.95. That's pretty good. So about 50% profit there, and then they rewrote it out at 58.55. So $15 more out the money. This first one was what, $20 up further out of the money. This one's 15 further out of the money. So they collected 6,700 for that. So pretty good amount there. And then here on Friday, 57.70 strike for $18.25. They got a total of 29,200. And then XSP, they collected $700. They closed to 57.70 for about 20,000. So they didn't make too much money on that. About what, $8 or so, $7. And then they sold the 58.10. That's way further out of the money. That's what, $40 out of the money, or further out of the money, for another $4.75, or sorry, $4.73. Collecting another 7,500. So total for this day is 17,100. So for the week, they collected $61,490. That's pretty good. I mean, considering how low their share count is. So let's see. So they have a 200,000 shares. So we are looking. I mean, they didn't pay what I estimated last week, but I think I hope that's due to them just not wanting to pay too much to drop the NAV, just kind of like how Roundhill is. But the estimate is 31 cents. This is the math, right? The math is premium divided by shares. This is what we get, 31 cents. So, keeping that in mind, from last week, they still have 10 cents left over. So, almost $20,000 that they did not pay out. So 10 cents. So on the high end, we can see about 40 cents. And then on the low end, I guess the low end would be the estimate if they pay the estimate. Honestly, I would not mind them paying something lower than the estimate. Hold some back, so they don't drop the funds too hard on X date. And then when we start to recover, use some of this premium and like pay it out later. That's what I would do. I would pay some of this premium out later. So that's what we are looking at on SDTY here. QDTY, This one is a little crazy. So they rolled their calls almost every day, except for what, Tuesday and Friday. So they had a 21 110, collecting $5,000 or 5,300, and then they had a 210 XND collecting 8,400. They closed their 21 110 for $2,110. So that's a little over 50%. So that's pretty good. And then they sold another one about what, like $55 out of the money. So pretty good, or $55 further out of the money. Collecting another 1,115. So total, they collected 12,729. Tuesday, pretty flat day. No rolls, so they collected 59.56 here. Wednesday, they had rolls, so they had a 25.50 and a 205 XND, collecting a total of what, 15,680 here. And then they bought back the 25.50 for, geez, they made like no, yeah, they made like no premium off that. It's like $2,000 in premium. So yeah, they rolled this one super early. I don't know what the charts look like at that time, but they rolled it super early. So they paid back 11,200 for this, and then they sold another one $100 further out of the money. So I like that. See, I don't mind taking less premium as long as they're managing it and like uncapping more of the upside if they think it's gonna rally. So that's actually not bad. And I think Wednesday did rally. So I don't know if it ran all the way up to their strike, but I'm pretty sure Wednesday was a rally. And then so they sold this $100 further out of the money, collected 62.80. So that's a $10,760 day. Here, yeah. So here we have there's no X and D. Okay, so they went to all NDX here. So they collected, oh sorry, so their strike was 24.90, collecting 11,000. They paid, or they closed it, paid 5,500 for it. So it's about half or so. And then they sold another one. What is that? About 60. Whoa, it's like $160 further out of the money. So they went way out. And collecting another 1,700. So for Thursday, we got 75.39 in total premium for that day. Friday, they also stuck with NDX. 2,200 is our strike, collecting 22,000. That's a big premium day. And then we closed it. I don't know why this transferred over weird, but they closed it, and I think they had to fat finger that. All right, because I just copy pasted it over. All right, so really they only got a net of what, 4,600 out of this, closing it early, and then they sold it further out of the money for another $170 further out of the money. So I really like this. More active. So total for the day is $11,000. So they collected a total of $48,000. So let's see what we are gonna get paid. 38 cents. I mean, my last estimate was really high, but the math is the math. I don't know what to tell you guys. I know some of you were saying like, oh, this is way off, or this is not even correct. It's not even close. But the math is the math. Premium divided by shares, and this is what the shares are right now. So 38 cents we're looking at, and they still have 20 cents left over from the last payment that they held back. So because it was way lower than my estimate. My estimate was like 40 something cents, 49 cents. So they didn't pay it all out. So that means they still have 25,000 left in excess premium that they can pay out later in the future. So right now, if you did the math, it's 20 cents that they could potentially divvy out. I would prefer they don't. I prefer they do something a little less and then hold back some for paying out later in the year. All right. And lastly, RDTY, they only had 2 days of trading, but they were pretty active still. So they did RUT, 2100 strike, collecting $4,300. But they closed it pretty early for um, like what, $1,000 profit or so, $780 profit, and then they sold it 15 more dollars further out of the money to collect $1,500, so $2,200 day there. And then Friday, 2085 strike, collecting $8,000, paying back 5,100. So they collected what, 3,000 on this one. Unlocked what? It's like $30 more or so. Yeah, I think like $30 more further out the money, collecting another 1,500. So total is $6,800. So we are gonna get paid 14 cents. So this is the first payment. So there is no excess. So I think 14 cents is probably a pretty good amount. I don't think they need to go any less than that. 14 is good enough, I think. All right. So let's go into the charts here. So this is since inception, since Yieldmax's inception for. Oh, sorry. This is YMAX, YMAG, and Ulti. Sorry. So we'll look at these charts first, and then we'll see the trifecta's charts. So here, best investment so far would have been just sticking with the S&P. This is year to date total return. So sticking with the S&P would be way further up than the others. YMAX is down 5.46%. Ulti is down 9.08%, and then YMAG is just getting hurt. I mean, they're pretty concentrated. When they do well, they do well. When they don't, they get hurt pretty bad. So they're down negative 9.88. Full disclosure, I am not a holder of any of these right now. I did sell my YMAX and YMAG a little while back, a few weeks now. So just want to let you guys know. Ulti is interesting. That is weekly, but not for me just yet. Alright, so here is the trifecta, Yieldmax trifecta versus its competitors. And this is since Yieldmax's inception and total return. So, Jeppy, killing it. 0.88%, negative 0.88%. So, down the least, like by a long shot. Then it's SPY WDTE, GPIX, and then SDTY at negative 4.95%. So, a little rough start since they only really had a month. And then SPY at negative 5. Geez, SPY is down 5% in a month. That's rough. And then you have XDTE's, the worst. Oh, I hate to see it. XDTE's bottom of the barrel. Negative 5.25%. Alright. So, I mean, they're doing. SDTY is doing pretty good. They definitely have my interest right now. This is the Qs. Since their inception, which is February 13th. Until today, total return. So QQQY leading the pack, then QQQI, JEPQ, GPIQ, then QDTY there. QDTY is, geez, down 7.26% in a month. That's a little rough. And then QDTE, so it's beating QDTE, so that's good. So far, Yieldmax is beating Yieldmax is beating Roundhill. And they're also beating the underlying, so that's good. So there's more active management, seems to be doing well. And let's look at RDTE here. So now that they have, RDTY. So now that they have a Russell, I can compare RDTE and its other competitors. So far, IWMY is by far the leader right now. Then, but it's only been 2 days, so really, but I think in the year-to-date charts are also just killing it. But this is 2 days. RDTY, so it's IWMY, ITWO, IWMI, RDTY. We are beating the underlying, and then RDTE is down there, bottom of the barrel. Jeez. Since Yieldmax inception, Roundhills aren't doing as good. They're getting beat at their own game because of the more active management. Alright, and then let's see. I just want to toss in. I'm just gonna toss in me get rid of. I'm just gonna get rid of GPIQ. Wait, no. I want the here. I want this one. Sorry. I'm just gonna get rid of SPY I. Yeah, I'll get rid of SPY I. I want to see T SPY. It's gonna be relevant here in a little bit. So T SPY, since yep, still same. So T SPY is slightly above Yieldmax. So Yieldmax is kind of keeping up with T SPY. So we'll see if that widens or if that narrows to see if Yieldmax can outdo T SPY. Because I know T SPY does really well. I think since doing like the year-to-date chart, they've been doing pretty well. All right, and then last thing I want to share is I thought this was pretty interesting since I've been tracking these guys. So this is pretty much all the Yieldmax trades, and then since I do my lives, I get their premiums. So I just added up every day's premium to see who's actually collecting more money, and this is Roundhill, Yieldmax, and T SPY. So here it is. So this is per contract premiums for 3 to 7 March. For the Qs, Roundhill for this week, or for that trade week 3 to 7, they collected $154. Yieldmax, they collected $181. So they'll a lot more money than Roundhill did. And then for S&P 500, Roundhill collected $40, 40.05. Yieldmax collected $3 more, 43.01. And then T SPY, they really didn't collect anything, so they're really banking on just on appreciation, I guess. But yeah, T SPY $13.75, so nowhere near, but they're still outperforming like Yieldmax and Roundhill. So maybe there's something to those shares, or maybe synthetics just not as good as shares. I don't know, but this is the data. So on R, $4.15 for Roundhill, and then $4.65 for Yieldmax. This is not a full week. This is just those 2 days, so I can get apples to apples. And for those 2 days, they did collect more than Roundhill. So this is probably going to be the trend, but I kind of like it. They're unlocking more premium, or sorry, they're collecting more premium and unlocking more upside than Roundhill in a bear market. So I am definitely liking what I see. Yieldmax is dropping less than Roundhill because of those premiums, so I do like that. So last thing I need to see before I make a switch to Yieldmax is how they do in a bull market, because I know Roundhill does really well in a bull market. They can capture a lot, so really that's the last thing I need to see before I make a switch to Yieldmax. Alright, so let's just do a quick recap. YMAG 4 cents, YMAX 10 cents, SDTY 31 cents, or 41 cents if they pay out the excess, QDTY 38 cents or 58 cents if they pay out the excess. I really hope they don't. Just gonna tank the stock. Yeah, I would rather them not tank the NAV. Alright, and then RDTY 14 cents. This one's fine. Pay that out. Alright, so that's all I had for you guys. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. And I'll catch y'all in the next one.